This video is brought to you by...
I'm switching lanes so much, man. They can never get behind me, man. Yeah, I'm taking it all away, man. I ain't playing with them, man. One thing is the key, man. It's consistency, man. It don't matter, man, how good the product is, man. If you ain't out there, man, to get rid of it, man, the supply to demand, man, you going down, man. You in it for nothing, man. Get with me, man. I'm starting a whole league, man. Get with me, man. Get with the winning team, man. Cool Green Clothing. We going all the way. And we coming straight out of Baltimore.
What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. If you're new to the fam, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell for future uploads. Let me give y'all this little disclaimer. Now, this situation ain't happening in Baltimore City. It happened in Edgewood, Harford County. But we ain't going to be all geographical with this story because at the end of the day, both men involved were from Baltimore. And let's face it, everybody be everywhere nowadays. So let's get right into the story. Words or arguments. Some people can have a few words with a person, get a little heated, but nothing comes out the situation. But in other cases, having a few words with somebody can turn from a simple misunderstanding to guns coming out and somebody losing their life. It's really a gamble to sit there and go back and forth with anybody because you just never know what the next individual is on and what the boiling point will be, especially if other people are around. Now somebody will feel like they got something to prove and get gassed up by whoever is around to take the situation to the next level. I remember growing up having arguments, even fights, with homeboys and even people I didn't like. We usually got the situation off our chest and it would be over. But nowadays, a fist fight can definitely lead to shots fired. Nobody is trying to take a loss, and no way, not even in a verbal situation. It doesn't even have to be physical. And today on the Baltimore Way, we will be discussing a case involving 2 young men from Baltimore that bumped heads in Edgewood, Harford County, and it turned fatal. According to sources, back on September 29th, 2019, a 27-year-old man named DeAndre Sellers from Baltimore was in Harford County, outside just cooling, when the people outside got into a little verbal altercation, including DeAndre. As words were exchanged, a young lady will focus her attention on DeAndre. The two would go back and forth for a minute, ending with a threat. The young lady allegedly stated, "If I call my brother out here, it's going to get real." The argument would eventually die down. But later that same day, around 7 o'clock p.m., DeAndre was in the 1900 block of Edgewater Drive in Edgewood when allegedly another argument would happen between him and another man. Not long after, gunshots rang out. Witnesses on the scene would call local police. Deputies assigned to the Southern Precinct in Harford County responded to the shooting scene, where they found the man suffering from multiple wounds. They began to try to save the man's life before he was transported to the University of Maryland Upper Chesapeake Medical Center, where unfortunately he later passed away. The victim was identified as 27-year-old DeAndre Sellers of Baltimore. As police talked to witnesses at the location, they told them DeAndre argued with a young lady earlier that day, but also with a 28-year-old man, also from Baltimore, named Sharon Garrett. They stated they heard Sharon making threats not long before the shooting. Detectives found several 7.62 caliber shell casings on the scene. The next day, Harford County detectives went to Baltimore City to question Sharon, where he told them he wasn't in Harford County at the time of the shooting and doesn't know what happened. After the questioning, it wasn't anything to hold the young man on, so at the time, he was not detained. According to sources, about a week later, on October 6th, a person walking in the same area, not too far from the shooting location, found the SKS assault rifle laying in the grass with tape around the handle. The person reported the rifle to authorities, who during the initial investigation found the cleaning rod for the same gun. Harford County police were already waiting for cell phone records from Sharon's phone to come back to see what was his location of the day of the hit. But now with the suspected murder weapon, forensics and fingerprints were done where allegedly 2 prints from the rifle was matched to Sharon's. Also, his cell phone records show his phone pinged in Harford County the same day as the shooting. A warrant for the hit of DeAndre was put out on Sharon, and in mid-November 2019, he was snatched up in Baltimore by members of the Harford County Sheriff's Warrant Apprehension Unit and transported to Harford County Detention Center. He was held without bail, charged with murder, firearm possession as a felon, and illegal possession of ammunition. As the case made the trial, witnesses took the stand, stating the argument that day between DeAndre and Sharon. As DeAndre's family spoke out, prosecutors also pointed out the fingerprints on the rifle, the description of the shooter gave by witnesses, and also Sharon's cell phone records showing he was in the area at the time. He was eventually found guilty and sentenced to 92 years in prison. As a scenario was painted of an argument and threats that ended with DeAndre gone. Rest in peace to DeAndre. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. I don't know what the beef was about and what words were exchanged between the two, but it unfortunately went all bad. I know sometimes situations get deep, but me knowing all about Harford County, I'm really surprised somebody from Baltimore would come out there and do something like this and think they'll get away with it. It's just certain places most people fall back on. But on another note, if this was all over words and a small verbal altercation, that's a scream to take a rifle and blick somebody down. But unfortunately, men don't even fight no more to solve disagreements or even talk. Instead, we rather do 92 years, take somebody away from their family, leaving 2 families suffering. But hey, that's the Baltimore way. Man, it's a crazy story, man. Rest in peace to DeAndre. Now, let me say this. The young lady who they say he was arguing with earlier that day, allegedly they did go talk to her brother before they went and picked up Sharon, and they cleared her brother of doing anything. So they saying the young lady, even though she said that, ain't nothing happened from that situation. So it was multiple altercations that happened that day. Like they was out there just arguing. I don't know why. And like I said, man, I remember back in the day, people stayed away from certain places. And Harford County was one of them. You ain't go to Harford County doing nothing, you feel me? Because you knew you do something out there, more than likely you gonna get snatched up, you gonna get grabbed up. But nowadays, like I said, everybody be everywhere. People really be wherever the money at, wherever the action at, you know. People be politicking out here, which is a good thing. But when you get situations like this, you got egos. You got both men coming from the city. Now they out here in Harford County. Now they probably trying to show how they get down from wherever part of the city they from. And now something like this happen. Unfortunate situation. Or like I said, it could be deep. It could be some beef that been going on. But for somebody to pull up with a rifle, let off shots, and then it was just all bad after that. And of course, when you in a community like that, I'm not saying stuff don't happen in Harford County, but stuff happen more frequent in Baltimore City. So when they found that weapon, if somebody in Baltimore would have found the assault rifle, it wasn't going to the police. But being that it was Harford County, a lot of people out there just trying to work, take care of their family. A lot of people moved from the city out there to get away from the crime, so they turned the gun in. And it had bro fingerprints on it, allegedly. But yeah, man, crazy situation. But y'all already know, man, this is another episode of the Baltimore Way. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. This your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out.